Well, my editing software won't accept VLC media files, so I'm going to have to use just the audio from the scenes I'm describing. I apologize in advance. Also, I haven't seen season 4 Beyond the Abominable Bride. Yesterday, I considered watching H. Bomber Guy's video on Sherlock a third time before deciding against it. But one thing I did remember was that he didn't like Moriarty because he seemed to act entirely for the laws, and the excuse was he's just crazy. I think. I don't know, he probably said it. Being a fully functional human being, I decided to make a video based on this. Stop laughing. Anyway, I plan to analyze the best and worst parts of an insane character as portrayed by the bad professor. Is he even a professor? No? 0 out of 10, burn it all. Sherlock is one of the series that I find myself continuously going back to look at. Of course, the others include Danny Phantom, Witch, and the Librarians, so make of that what you will. I love most of the show, even though I feel that it could have included the viewer in the mystery more. Then again, I feel that for basically any show that has the word mystery in it. Anyway, Moriarty was one of my favorite parts of it.
Because we're just alike, you and I. Except you're boring. You're on the side of the angels. I just like to watch them all competing. Daddy loves me the best. Aren't ordinary people adorable? Well, you know, you've got John. I should get myself a live-in one. This would be so funny.
If one thing defines Moriarty and Sherlock, it's boredom. Have you ever found yourself learning a lesson you'll have a complete grasp on, listening to idiots bicker like children, had a conversation with someone who didn't know what they were talking about, or at least felt like it? But that's the perfect description of Sherlock Holmes and James Moriarty walking through life most of the time. Sherlock and James spend their lives looking for stimulation in a world that is, at least to them, unforgivably boring. But I'm not here to analyze their character dynamic, I'm here to analyze the motivations of a madman. The key to writing a great madman, at least for a character, is to give them a line of reasoning or desire that they will funnel all their crazy into. Don't believe me? Look at the Joker who funnels all his madness into Batman, or proving everyone else is as crazy as he is, or rescuing Harley, depending on which Joker you're talking about. Some Jokers are better than others. Insane characters are actually great sources of freedom, as they care little for what most consider normal. However, some authors take this as license to have a character act inconsistently. I'll admit that many of Moriarty's actions make no sense to me. Like coming back to try and kill Sherlock at the end of season 1, which I chalk up to a desire for a cliffhanger. And I am going to praise his suicide later, but I won't pretend that he actually had to do it. The killers were all right there, ready to strike. That said, let's move on. Moriarty has lived his whole life building a criminal empire, exercising his brain against the law. And then he heard of Sherlock, a man as smart as him in the opposite line of work, a hero to challenge him. And that excited him.
I want to solve the problem. Our problem. Final problem.
Throughout the series, Moriarty is very willing to give up everything, even his own life, in order to win against his rival. But he doesn't just do that out of the blue. Sherlock season 1 was basically a test to see if Sherlock was worthy. And after Sherlock had become famous, he's willing to sacrifice so much to stay ahead of him and prove his superiority, like revealing his identity to the world. This wouldn't have worked if Sherlock had remained in obscurity. The Reichenbach case allowed Sherlock to be put into the public eye. That way Moriarty would be able to destroy him in the public consciousness, which would have been more satisfying than simply destroying him when very few people actually know about him. I feel like that's the significance of why Moriarty chose then to attack, especially when you consider the fact that a large part of his final plan, which included pretending to be human, involved using the name Reichenbach in English to fabricate his identity. Nothing is as important to Moriarty as proving he's smarter than Sherlock, which is why he feels so disappointed when he feels that he's beaten Sherlock.
All my life I've been searching for distractions,
You were the best distraction, and now I don't even have you. Because I've beaten you. And you know what? In the end, it was easy. It was easy. Now I've got to go back to playing with the ordinary people. And it turns out you're ordinary, just like all of them.
It's also why, when he realizes that Sherlock is at least as good as him and definitely as bad as him,
You talk big. You're ordinary. You're ordinary. You're on the side of the angels. Oh, I may be on the side of the angels. But don't think for 1 second that I am one of them. No. You're not. I see. You're not ordinary. No. You're me. You're me. Thank you.
he kills himself, thanking him for the opportunity to play against an opponent on his level. Nothing else was as important. Not the money, not the crime, not even his own life. He had to win. Experience the thrill. Yeah, he really isn't like the literary version, but that character was barely in the story and existed to kill Sherlock, so yeah, that's why everyone changes him in basically every version. When writing a character who is out of their mind, you need to give them their own form of logic to follow and remain consistent on. Pay attention to their motivations and revel in the fact that human values and often common sense won't get in the way. Also, I haven't seen season 4, but I have an idea on how Moriarty's resurrection could work. Or at least what I feel they should have done. I don't know, I'm in an odd position of trying to give advice to a series that has already come out.
Moriarty is dead. No question. More importantly, I know exactly what he's going to do next.
Moriarty could have set up a series of traps, occurrences, challenges, etc. for the world to prove that he could still mess with it even in death. The ultimate challenge. You could even say that Moriarty hadn't expected to be defeated by Sherlock in such a way, so the traps aren't specifically designed for Sherlock. It would leave our good detective in quite the position where he has to beat an opponent who can't be manipulated because every move has already been made, or try to understand what made Moriarty tick and how it reflects on him. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please comment below on what you think and like the video, and share this with all your Sherlock loving friends. And check out the description for my One Marvelous Scene video regarding Loki and his role in Infinity War, or my first on writing video where I describe how the philosophy of villains are handled. Thank you.